Do you have the link to the YouTube video?
Do I?
Yes. Did you want to watch it also? I can send that to you.
This is fine.
Okay.
Scott Anderson is on from the Secretary of State's office.
Good morning, Scott.
Hi, this is Holly Silvestri from the Ferrara Group.
On board.
Hi, this is Greg Ferraro.
Good morning, Attorney General Ford.
Good morning.
Rosalie Bordelov here.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Barbara Sagaski.
Good morning, Secretary.
Hello, this is Tatiana with the Governor's Office of Economic Development.
Who joined the call, please?
Hi there, this is Bona with Tyler Technologies. I was asked by the Nevada Department of Parole and Probation to call in.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
This is Keel Ireland from the Attorney General's office, and I'm calling in case there's any questions on the Vargas settlement.
Thank you.
I would like to call today's meeting to order for the State of Nevada Board of Examiners for Tuesday, August 11th, 2020 to order. Could I ask the clerk to take the roll, please?
Yes. Governor Sisolak,
Here?
Secretary of State Sagaski,
Here.
Attorney General Ford.
Here.
Let the record reflect we do have a quorum.
We do have a quorum, thank you. Item number 2, public comment. This is the first time set aside for public comment. Anyone wishing to address the board on any item on today's agenda? Items on the agenda, please identify yourself for the record, and comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Do we have anybody on the phone or any written comments?
We did not receive any written comments, and I do not know if there's any public on the phone.
Who can tell me if we have any on the phone?
Not hearing any.
My name is Amelia Green. I'm a lawyer for DeMarlo Berry. I'm from the law firm of Neufeld, Scheck and Breston. I am on the phone, though do not have a public comment.
I'm sorry, you do not have a public comment, or what?
I do not have a specific public comment, but I just wanted to let you know I'm on the phone.
Great, thank you.
If that was-
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, item number 3, approval of the June 30th, 2020 minutes. Do we have a motion on the approval of the minutes? We have a motion on the floor from General Ford. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 4, authorization to contract with current and/or former state employee.
Item 4 includes 3 requests to contract with former employees pursuant to NRS 333.705 subsection 1. All 3 of these requests are from the Department of Administration Purchasing Division. The first is to contract with a former employee to perform fiscal duties for the Department of Administration Administrative Services Division through Master Services Agreement 18404 or Manpower. The second is for a former employee to perform uniform security guard duties for various agencies through Master Service Agreement 19049, doing business as Allied Universal Security. And the third is to contract with a former employee to perform resource and incident management coordination duties for the Department of Public Safety Division of Emergency Management. This individual will be employed through Talent Framework LLC or Master Service Agreement 18406. Are there any questions on any of these items?
I do not have any questions on those. Do General Ford or Secretary Sagaski have any questions?
None here.
None.
Do I have a motion on item number 4?
Move approval.
We have a motion for approval. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 5, authorization for emergency contract with current and/or former state employee.
Item number 5, pursuant to subsection 4 of NRS 333.705, an agency may contract with a former employee without first obtaining Board of Examiners approval if the term of the contract is for less than 4 months and the head of the using agency determines that an emergency exists. If a using agency contracts with an individual pursuant to this exception, they must submit a copy of the contract and a description of the emergency to the Board of Examiners, who shall review the contract and description of the emergency and notify the agency whether or not they would have approved the contract had it not been entered into under the emergency provision. There's one item under this, or one request under this item for the Department of Employment Training and Rehabilitation, and they are seeking favorable recommendation from the board on their use of the emergency provision to contract with a former employee. The department contracted through Manpower with a former employee from May 25th through September 25th to assist with unemployment insurance programs. This individual will assist with development and implementation of the federally mandated Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. Are there any questions on this item?
Do we have any questions on item number 5?
None here.
Do we have a motion on item number 5?
I'll move approval.
We have a motion for approval. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 6, request for a recommendation of approval to the interim finance committee for an allocation amount from the contingency account.
This item includes 2 requests for a positive recommendation to the interim finance committee pursuant to NRS 353.268. The general fund contingency account has an approximate balance of $16.4 million to cover unanticipated costs for the remainder of the 1921 biennium. If these items are approved, the remaining balance in the account will be approximately $12.9 million. The first request is from the Office of the Attorney General for an allocation of $3,551 to cover a projected shortfall in the crime prevention account, which is due to lower than projected license plate revenues. The second request is from the Governor's Finance Office for an allocation of $3,467,578 to cover a projected shortfall in the statutory contingency account. With the passage of Assembly Bill 267 of the 2019 legislative session, which provides for the compensation of certain persons who were wrongfully convicted, it is anticipated that this account will be exhausted before the October IFC meeting due to pending claims. Are there any questions on either of these items?
Do Secretary Sagaski or General Ford have a question?
I do not.
None.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Move approval.
We have a motion for approval. Any discussion on that motion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 7, request for approval to pay a tort claim pursuant to NRS 41.036.
This item is a claim for $175 for which the Office of the Attorney General recommends approval of this payment from the Tort Claims Fund to Christensen Law Offices in the matter of Daniel Vargas for attorney fees and costs. Are there any questions on this item?
No, and I appreciate, I just want to acknowledge, Susan, that you did a great job answering all my questions leading up to this meeting, so thank you very much. Do we have any questions on this item? Seeing none, do I have a motion on item number 7?
Move approval.
We have a motion for approval. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 8, request for approval of payment from the statutory contingency account.
Item 8, pursuant to NRS 41950 and NRS 41970, the Governor's Finance Office is requesting the Board of Examiners to approve a payment of $2,275,000 from the statutory contingency account to DeMarlo Berry, representing compensation for his wrongful conviction. As I said earlier, the 2019 legislature approved Assembly Bill 267, which provides for the compensation and other properly related matters to certain persons who were wrongfully convicted. The legislation requires a court order to enter a certification of innocence and determine the proper amount of the award. A certification of innocence and a stipulation of relief were granted to Mr. Berry by the 8th Judicial Court. Pursuant to NRS 41950, the amount of the award is $2,250,000 plus $25,000 for attorney's fees. I would just note that the current balance in the statutory contingency account is $4,444,000. If this item is approved, the remaining amount in the account would be $2.1 million. Are there any questions on this item?
The question I had is the same, and I want to put it on the record. Is there anything that we are doing to provide Mr. Berry with some financial consulting or advising after he gets his check so that he can obviously get the benefit of living off his money? Does the state provide that, or is that not part of this?
Mr. Governor, Aaron Ford here. I don't recall the statute actually requiring that type of provision, although I'm pretty confident that he's been advised by probably his own lawyers, but certainly by those of us engaged with him, as I have been over the course of time, the importance of trying to engage someone to help from a financial advice perspective.
We've got his attorney on the phone. Has he been advised as it relates to this money?
Hi, this is Amelia Green. I'm DeMarlo Berry's lawyer. He does have a private financial advisor. I don't think anything has been provided by the state, but yes, he has retained a private financial advisor.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that because obviously well deserving of the money and want to make sure that it lasts for him. Do we have any questions on item number 8?
I have no questions, Mr. Governor, but I would like to comment during after the motion.
Sure. Secretary Sagaski? Questions?
Nothing. No.
Okay, go ahead, General Ford.
I move approval.
Okay, you want to make a comment before we vote?
Yes, I'd like to say I've been looking forward to voting in favor of this for a long time now. A few years back, I suggested to Steve Wilson that he create a conviction integrity unit. He did that, and I had no clue, obviously, at that time that the first person to go through that conviction integrity unit and to be exonerated would be Mr. DeMarlo Berry. I also had no clue that I'd walk out fortuitously during the middle of a press conference at my building and see him there on the day he had been released and got to shake his hand, hug him, and congratulate him on being exonerated. And then fast forward to last year when the passage of this bill came about and I was able to testify sitting next to him in support of this. I'm so proud of this state for actually stepping up and doing the right thing, and that's paying this man for time that obviously he can never get back, but recognizing the exoneration, the importance of this exoneration and the payment of monies to him, I think is well past due. So I just wanted to say to Mr. Berry, thank you again for being so kind and generous during this time period. And I want to apologize again on behalf of the state for your wrongful conviction.
Very well said. Thank you, General Ford. We have a motion on the floor for approval. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Did we get you, Secretary Sagaski?
You should have. I said yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Motion passes. Item number 9.
There are 25 contracts in Agenda Item 9 for approval by the board this morning. Are there any questions on any of these items?
Does anyone have any questions on the contracts that are before us?
None here.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Move approval.
Okay, all in favor? We have a motion for approval. Any comments? Seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 10, approval of work plan.
There are 3 work plan summaries in Agenda Item 10 for approval by the board this morning. Are there any questions on any of these items?
I do not have any questions on these items. Anybody else? General Ford, Secretary Sagaski?
None here.
None.
Do I have a motion on item number 10?
I move approval.
We have a motion for approval. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 11, approval of proposed master service agreements.
There are 4 master service agreements in Agenda Item 11 for approval by this board this morning. Are there any questions on any of these items?
I do not have any questions on these items. Again, thank you for the briefing. Any questions?
None here.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Move approval.
A motion for approval. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 12, information item, clerk of the board contracts.
There were 52 contracts under the $50,000 threshold approved by the clerk between June 23rd, 2020 and July 20th of 2020. Are there any questions on any of these items?
Do not have any questions on those. Anybody have any questions on these contracts?
Not aye.
None.
Okay, that's information item. Item number 13, information item reports. Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, State Lands.
There are 2 informational reports under this item. The first is an informational report regarding lands or interest in lands transferred, sold, exchanged, or leased under the Tahoe Basin Act program, as well as a quarterly report on the status of real property or interests in real property transferred under the Lake Tahoe Mitigation Program, which are required pursuant to NRS 321.5954 and Chapter 355 Statutes of Nevada 1993, respectively. This report is for the quarter ending June 30th, 2020. There were no acquisitions of land during this quarter. There were 2 transactions under the Lake Tahoe Mitigation Program, resulting in 1,436 square feet of restored land coverage and an increase of $6,042 for the Nevada Land Bank. Are there any questions on that?
No questions on the Division of State Lands? Nope.
Okay.
How about Department of Motor Vehicles, complete streets?
The second item is a report from the Department of Motor Vehicles on the voluntary contributions collected by a county pursuant to NRS 482.480, or the Complete Streets Program, for the period January 1, 2020 through March 31st, 2020. During the third quarter, the department collected $86,151 compared to $89,186 in the same period last year and $78,314 in the previous quarter. Of the amount collected, approximately 78.6% was from Clark County, 15.7% from Washoe County, 3% from Carson City, and about 2.6% from Douglas County. After deducting the 1% to administer the collection and distribution of contributions, the department distributed $85,247.42 for this quarter. Approximately 12.2% of those registering a vehicle during the quarter contributed to the Complete Streets program, ranging from 9.78% in Douglas County to 15.28% in Clark County. Are there any questions on this item?
Any questions on Complete Streets? Nope. None here, thank you. That's another information item. Moving on, item number 14 is public comment, second time. Is there anyone wishing to address the board on any item, whether on the phone or in writing? Do we have anyone up north?
We do
Nobody
not.
on the phone? Do we have anybody on the phone? You guys are all muted, I think. I'm assuming you have nobody for public comment then.
We don't have anybody for public comment.
Okay, now I hear you. Thank you. Okay. Item number 15 is adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We have a motion on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.